Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, I am going to be making my first Christmas themed video, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make protein gingerbread. So my protein cookie recipe video is actually my most viewed video on my whole channel. I think it's nearing to almost 5,000 views, which is a lot for a small channel like mine. And so I wanted to recreate those protein cookies into gingerbread men. I just thought it'd be a really fun way to, create something that is healthy and protein packed, but in a Christmas themed fun way. So this is just a little bit of a spin on my regular protein cooking recipe. I have added in a few extra things, so stay tuned for the recipe if you are interested. If you want to check out the original recipe, I will link it up in the top right corner, and also in the description box below, along with my playlist of high protein recipes if you want to check them out. And with all that said, let's jump straight into the recipe. I'll see you on the other side. Bye! Alrighty, so the first step is to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And now onto the cookies. In a large mixing bowl, add around 100 grams of almond butter. So this is about 3 to 4 heaped tablespoons, but if you want to be extra precise, you can just add in around 100 grams of almond butter. Next up, I'm adding in 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. If you want them extra sweet, go for 1/2 of a cup. However, I just went in with 1/3 of a cup here, and then I did add in a little bit more later, as you will see. So in total, it's 1/3 and a tablespoon, and I will leave those measurements in the description box below. But as I just said, if you want it extra sweet, go for 1/2 a cup. Now I'm adding in some spices. So I have 1 teaspoon of mixed spice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of ginger. Now I'm adding in some protein powder. I have about 3 serves of my protein powder here, which is approximately 96 grams. So you may have to kind of dabble a bit with the texture, add in a bit more maple syrup like I'm doing here if it's a bit too dry. But as you'll see shortly, you want a nice cookie texture, very similar to a regular cookie. It is nice and soft, but not too soft, if you've cooked cookies before, you just need to make sure it gets to that perfect consistency. And just then I tasted the batter just to see if it needed some more spice, and it actually did need a little bit more spice. So as I mentioned with the previous one, I will have the full ingredients list in the description box below so you can follow that precisely. But as you can see here, I decided to add in a little bit more protein powder and a little bit more cinnamon and ginger just to get that flavor really nice and strong, because I like to really taste that gingerbread flavor. And then finally, you just want to knead it with your hands a little bit until it gets to a nice cookie dough texture. So now it's time to roll it out. I'm just putting a bit of the protein powder onto my chopping board just to make sure it doesn't stick, and this actually worked really well. It works exactly like flour, so yep, definitely do this step. By the way, the protein powder I'm using is a vanilla protein powder by the brand INC Sports. I find that this protein powder works really well in baking. I don't really know why, but it just does, and the vanilla flavor is really understated, and it just takes on the flavors that you're adding in. So with this, obviously we're adding in the gingerbread spices, and so you don't even really notice the protein powder that much. So yeah, I would recommend this protein powder if you need one for baking. The INC Sports Plant Protein in Vanilla is my favorite. So now that you've rolled it out nice and thin, it's time to make your little gingerbread men. So I'm making mini gingerbread men. This is not a full-size gingerbread cutout. If you did have a full-sized one, I would say that you obviously are going to make half as many. So I made about 14, so you'd be making around 6 to 7 gingerbread men with this recipe. So if you do have a bigger one and you want to make more, just double the recipe and then you'll get about 12. So how many did I get in this round? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little gingerbread men. And then as you can see in a minute, you just want to reuse all those little cutout bits, roll it out again and get some more gingerbread men. I honestly don't know what it is about rolling out gingerbread, but it's just so satisfying. I really enjoy this. It's quite therapeutic to roll out a cookie. Anyway, so you just want to roll that out and get as many gingerbread men in as you can. And then we are putting them in the oven for about 8 minutes. So obviously this will depend on the size of your gingerbread men. So if you're making small ones like me, 8 minutes was perfect. But if you're making bigger ones, you might need 10, 12, or even up to 15 minutes. So you obviously just want to check every few minutes once you pass that 8-minute mark, because by 8 minutes, mine were nice and cooked and perfect to take out of the oven. Also, it depends on how thin you've rolled out your gingerbread men. So I would say mine were about 3 millimeters thick. So if yours are thicker or thinner, obviously if they're thicker, it's going to take a bit longer. If they're thinner, it will take a bit less. So just keep an eye out. You don't want to burn your cookies. You've gone to all this effort of making them. You don't want to burn them. So just make sure you're checking them every few minutes. And then once they are nice and golden, it's time to take them out. So as you just saw, some of my gingerbread men stuck to the board a bit because I didn't put enough protein powder down on the second round. So I just quickly touched them up and then into the oven for 8 minutes. I did check mine at around the 7-minute mark, but it wasn't quite cooked. But then by 8 minutes, they were perfect. So this is what mine looked like when they came straight out of the oven. I didn't actually show it here, but if you turn them around, they were nice and golden on the other side as well. And that's what you want. You want them nice and golden, but not burnt. And you just want to let them cool for about 10 minutes before eating. If you store them straight in an airtight container, they will get a bit soft. So I'd recommend just leaving them out at least for a few hours until they kind of harden up a little bit. I mean, that's how I like my cookies. And this is what the cookie looks like when it is all cooled. And as you can see, it has a nice crisp crunch to it, but it still has that slight softness in the middle, which I love in a gingerbread man. I decided not to ice mine today, but you could definitely ice yours now and they would be super cute. And that is the final product. Hey guys, so I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. They honestly tasted so good and are perfect with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. They're great to bring around to family gatherings if you're having a Christmas gathering and you want to bring around some kind of treat that you can eat as a vegan. These are perfect because you can have it too, which is amazing, and they taste super yummy and perfect with a cup of tea or coffee or just as a snack any time of the day. They're nice and high in protein. And yeah, they're just really great and I hope you guys try them out. I hope you're also having a great start of December. The festive season is becoming closer and closer and I will be making some more videos around Christmas themed recipes as well as some gift ideas. So let me know in the comments down below if there's anything in particular you would like to see in the coming weeks. And I hope you guys are safe and well. I will see you in my next video. Bye!